Hello guys, we are going to learn how to build a major scale. To do so, we're gonna have to add one feature in GarageBand, which is to be able to see the name of the notes. Okay, so I can explain it to you. I'm gonna go here, and then I go to apps. Okay, I go to GarageBand, and I have to enable keyboard notes labels. Can you see this? If it's this, when you open the Magic Keyboard, you won't see the names. Now I can see the names, okay? Now I can go here, and the names are here, okay? So let's review again what we did. You took the other, you watched the other video, and it talks about whole step and half steps. You know now, the whole steps and half steps are no more than just a major second. There is one note in between. So whole step is equal to major seconds, and a half step is equal of a minor second. There is nothing in between. So a whole step means there is always going to be something in between. Okay. Now, when you are building your scales, you're going to see that a major scale is made of a particular sequence of whole step and half steps. Okay. Whole step, half step, basically 2 whole step, 1 half step, 3 whole steps, and 1 half steps. Okay, so if I start from C, okay, first of all, I know that this one and this one will be the same notes. Okay, so the first notes and the 8 notes will be the same. Okay, then I had the whole step. Can you see this? There is one in between. That I know I go to the next one. There's one. So I had the first 2 whole step. Can you see that? C and D as this one in between. As this one in between. Now I go to the next one. There's a half step. Now I go to the whole step. Another whole step. Another whole step. And now I'm going to close my scale. And I basically, can you see I started from C and I'm gonna go to the next C. So a major scale of C, if I start from C, the major scale is the C major scale. That's simple. If I start from D, it's a D major scale. If I start from F, it's an F major scale, and so on. Okay? So and that's a major scale. Now, what if I start from another notes? Well, the C major scale, you should know, is the only major scale where I use only the Y keys. Okay? So that's a pretty simple one. Again, that's 2 whole steps. E and F is a half step, and then F and G is a whole step. G and A is a whole step. A and B is a whole step, and B and C is a half step. Look at this one. Okay? And they're here. Okay? Now, what if I start from G? Okay? And today we're gonna only use sharps to build major scales. Okay, which means sharps is anytime I raise a note to the right, going up. So for example, if I have an F and I want to go to the next note here, I have to call this note F sharp, not G flat. Can you see the sharp is that sign you find on the phone, and the G flat is a little beat by the G. Okay, so if I'm raising a note towards my right, that is F sharp. If I take this one and I raise this note, you will know now this note I have to call it A sharp, not B flat. Okay. All right. So of course you say, well, how do we do with the flats? Well, it goes the other way. Okay. But today we're not talking about flats. We're talking about sharps. So if I want to have a C sharp, I go here. If I'm gonna have a D sharp. Okay. Now, if I start a major scale from D, for example, let's see what happens. I start from D. I know I'm gonna go from this D to this D. Okay, I start from this D. I make it the first whole step is E. Now, can you see? I need a whole step, and if I play F, it's just a half step. What can I do now? Because I need 2 whole steps there. Can you see that? So the F has to become now F sharp. Okay, so it's D, E, F sharp. What do I have after 2 whole steps? We'll go back to the G. that's a half step. G to A is a whole step. A to B is whole step. Now I need another whole step. If I go to C5, it's not whole step. Can you see? I need the C sharp. That's a whole step. And of course, between C sharp and D, it's a half step. Now listen to this. If I play, and if I play this, can you hear that it sounds exactly the same? They're just one key up. Okay, so a major scale is also always the same sound. And I can play another one. Because I'm always keeping the sequence together. Okay, so let's do another one. If I start from G, for example, I start from G, G A, whole step, A to B, whole step. Now B to C is a half step. Perfect. I have it here. C to D, I need to make it a whole step. It's there. I need another whole step. Now I need another whole step. I can't play the F. I need the F sharp. Okay. Now you notice a G has one black key, D major instead. Has two black keys. Okay, let's get another one. If I start from A, okay, whole step. Now I need C sharp. Can you see that? Now I have D. Now I have a whole step. Now I need to have another whole step. I need another whole step. So F sharp has to go to G sharp, and now I'm going to A. Okay. All right. Now A has three black keys. Can you see that? Let's do another one. I'm gonna start from E. So far I've started from C. There's no key black keys. I did G. There's one. I also played D that has two black keys. I did A that had three black keys, and now I can do E. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Okay, so if you follow this, given any, if I write here, start from, for example, start from D, and I give this one to you, you should be able to write down your answer. Okay, you go from D, that's an E, okay, and so on, and you write your answer. E. Now I need to have another whole step, F sharp. You write F sharp this way. Okay, and now from F sharp to G, you need a half step. You write G. Then we have G to A, and A to B are two whole steps. Okay, now from B to C sharp, I need a whole step. Okay, and then D. Now see that the first one and the last one are the same. Okay, so that's the way you should do it. Then you go on the Google form and transcribe that one. Just rewrite this one, okay, using this. Or you can write sharp, but you can find this sign on the keyboard, okay? When you write, you can find this sign on the keyboard, all right? Try to see. If you don't find it, just write sharp, okay? You write the notes capitalized if you can, will be better, okay? You do it for 3 times. Now, for example, this one starts from D. So this is the D major scale. I'm gonna give you other 3 to do, and you do it together. And some of you will have different scales, okay? So to summarize again, whole steps and off steps, this sequence of whole steps and off steps defines a major scale. 2 whole steps, 1/2, 3 and 1/2. You're going to use sharps going in these directions. Okay, so forget about this one now. Don't use any of the flats. We're going to do that next week. Okay.